I'm 77 years old, and if I could sit down with my 25-year-old self for just 1 hour, I'd grab that young fool by the collar and shake him until his teeth rattled. Not because he was a bad kid. He wasn't. He was just blind. The way all young people are blind. Too busy chasing things that don't matter to see the things that do. My name is Harold. Most folks call me Harry. I've buried my parents, my wife, my best friend, and one of my own children. I've made more money than I ever dreamed of making, and I've lost more than I ever thought I could lose. I've stood at the top of a career that made me the envy of men half my age, and I've sat alone in hospital waiting rooms, wondering if any of it meant a damn thing. And now, at 77, I'm going to tell you what I wish someone had told me when I was young, dumb, and convinced I had all the time in the world. You don't. None of us do. So sit down, shut up, and listen to an old man who's made every mistake you're about to make, unless you're smart enough to learn from mine. Let me start with family. When I was 25, I thought family was a safety net, something that would always be there no matter what. Parents, siblings, cousins, they were background noise, permanent fixtures, like furniture that talks. I didn't call my mother as often as I should have. I'd go weeks, sometimes months, without checking in. When she'd call me, I'd rush her off the phone. "Ma, I'm busy. Work stuff. I'll call you back." I never called back. Not because I didn't love her. I did, more than I knew how to say. But I figured there was always tomorrow, always next week, always another holiday, another birthday, another chance. Then one Tuesday afternoon, my sister called. "Harry," she said, "Mama had a stroke. She's in the ICU. They don't think she's going to make it." I dropped everything, flew home, sat by her bed for 3 days, holding her hand, talking to a woman who couldn't hear me anymore. She died on a Thursday, and for the rest of my life, I've had to live with this. The last real conversation I had with my mother was me telling her I was too busy to talk. Too busy for my own mother. The woman who fed me, clothed me, sat up with me through fevers and nightmares and heartbreaks. The woman who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And I couldn't give her 15 minutes on a Tuesday. Here's what I want you to understand about family. They are not furniture. They are not permanent. They are flesh and blood and heartbeats, and every single one of those heartbeats is numbered. Your parents are going to die. Your siblings are going to die. That cousin you keep meaning to reconnect with. That uncle who tells the same stories every Thanksgiving. That grandmother who sends you $5 in a birthday card, even though $5 meant a lot more in her day. They are all going to die. And you don't get to know when. You don't get a warning. You don't get a countdown clock. You just get a phone call one day, and suddenly all the time you thought you had is gone. So call them. Today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. Tell them you love them. Tell them you're grateful. Tell them the things you think they already know, because maybe they don't. Maybe they've been waiting their whole lives to hear you say it out loud. My mother died not knowing how much she meant to me. I knew it. I felt it in my bones. But I never said it. Not really. Not the way it needed to be said. Don't let that be your story. Now let me talk about career. When I was young, I was hungry, ambitious. I wanted to be somebody. I wanted to walk into a room and have people know my name, respect my title, envy my success. And I got it. All of it. By 35, I was a senior manager. By 40, a director. By 50, I was running a division with 200 people under me, corner office, company car, the whole picture. I worked 60-hour weeks like they were normal. Missed dinners, school plays, anniversaries. My wife would say, "Harry, the kids are growing up without you." And I'd say, "I'm doing this for them, for us, for our future." I wasn't doing it for them. I was doing it for me. For the thrill of the win, for the next promotion, for the look on other men's faces when they realized I'd made it and they hadn't. I told myself I'd slow down when I hit the next milestone, vice president, then retirement. Then I'd be present. Then I'd make time. You want to know the cruelest joke life plays on ambitious men? The finish line keeps moving. There's always another milestone, another goal, another reason to say, "Not yet." And while you're chasing that horizon that never gets closer, your kids are becoming teenagers, then adults, then strangers who share your last name, but not your memories. My son Michael, he's 48 now, good man, good father to his own kids, but we're not close. Not the way fathers and sons should be. Not the way I am with some of my old work buddies, men I spent more time with than my own flesh and blood. A few years ago, we were at a family barbecue. His kids were running around. We were standing by the grill, not really talking, just watching the smoke rise. He said something I'll never forget. "You know, Dad, I used to wait up for you when I was little. Mom would put me to bed, but I'd sneak to the top of the stairs and wait for the sound of your car in the driveway. Most nights I fell asleep there. She'd find me in the morning, still on the stairs." He wasn't angry when he said it. That was the worst part. He was just stating a fact. The way you'd say, "It rained last Tuesday." I wanted to explain, wanted to say I was building a life for him, providing for him, giving him opportunities I never had. But standing there, watching his kids chase each other across a lawn I'd paid for with hours I'd stolen from him, I realized he didn't need opportunities. He needed me. He needed his father at those school plays, needed me in the stands at his baseball games, needed me at the dinner table, not just on Christmas and birthdays, but on boring Wednesday nights when nothing special was happening except the ordinary miracle of a family being together. I gave him money and things and a nice house in a nice neighborhood. He needed presence. And presence is the one thing you can't buy back. Here's what I want to tell every 25-year-old grinding their life away for a career. Your job will replace you. Within 2 weeks of your funeral, someone else will be sitting at your desk, using your coffee mug, answering your emails. The company will send a polite card to your family, maybe a fruit basket, and then they'll move on. That's not evil. That's just business. You're a function, not a family member. But you know who can't replace you? Your kids, your spouse, your parents. You are the only you they've got. And every hour you give to that office is an hour you're taking from them. I'm not saying don't work hard. Work is good. Work gives you purpose, dignity, the means to provide. But there's a difference between working to live and living to work. I crossed that line somewhere around 30 and didn't come back until I was 60. By then, my kids were grown, my wife was tired, and the corner office that used to make me feel like a king just felt like a very nice prison cell. Balance isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Find it before life forces you to. Now let's talk about love. This is the one that hurts the most. My wife, Eleanor, she passed away 6 years ago. Ovarian cancer. 8 months from diagnosis to the end. We were married 49 years, just shy of 50. I always figured we'd make it to 50, throw a big party, renew our vows. We'd joke about it. 50 years of putting up with you, she'd say. They should give me a medal. We didn't make it. 8 months. That's all the time we had between something's wrong and she's gone. In those 8 months, I learned more about love than I had in the previous 49 years. I learned that love isn't the big gestures. It's not the anniversary trips, or the diamond earrings, or the surprise parties. Love is holding a bucket while someone vomits from chemo. Love is sleeping in a hospital chair so she doesn't wake up alone. Love is brushing her hair when her arms are too weak and telling her she's beautiful even when she doesn't believe you. Love is the small daily acts of showing up, not because you have to, because you can't imagine being anywhere else. But here's my confession, and it's an ugly one. For most of our marriage, I didn't love Eleanor the way she deserved. I loved her the way men of my generation were taught to love, quietly, practically, without too many words, because words were soft, and soft was weak. I provided, I protected, I was faithful. That's more than a lot of men can say. But I didn't cherish her. I didn't tell her she was beautiful on ordinary days. I didn't ask about her dreams, her fears, the thoughts that kept her up at night. I didn't hold her hand in public, or dance with her in the kitchen, or say, "I love you," just because the moment felt right. I figured she knew. We'd been together so long, what was the point of saying it out loud? The point, you fool, was that she needed to hear it. Not once a year on your anniversary, not when you were trying to make up after a fight, but on random Tuesday mornings when she was just standing there in her bathrobe, making coffee, being the woman who'd chosen to spend her life with you. That was the point. After she died, I found a box in her closet. Inside were letters, dozens of them. Letters she'd written to me over the years, but never sent. Some were angry, fights we'd had where she didn't say what she really felt. Some were sad, times she'd felt invisible, unloved, like a housekeeper instead of a wife. Some were beautiful love letters, the kind I should have written to her but never did. One of them, from about 10 years into our marriage, said this: "Harry, sometimes I wonder if you still see me, not as your wife, not as the mother of your children, but as me, the girl you fell in love with. I'm still in here. I'm still waiting for you to notice." I sat on our bedroom floor and cried like I hadn't cried since I was a child. She'd been waiting, for decades, waiting for me to wake up and really see her. And I was too busy, too focused on work, on money, on the next thing, too proud to be soft, too stupid to say the words that cost nothing and mean everything. Here's what I need you to understand about love. It is not self-sustaining. You can't fall in love once and coast on that forever. Love is a fire, and fires need fuel. They need attention. They need you to get down on your knees and blow on the embers when they start to dim. If you ignore a fire, it goes out. I let my fire go out. Not all at once, slowly. Over years of neglect, distraction, taking for granted the woman who deserved to be taken as a gift. By the time I woke up, she had 8 months left. We made those 8 months count. I held her. I talked to her. I said all the things I should have said for 49 years. I danced with her in the hospital room, IV pole and all, to a song that was playing on her little radio. She forgave me, because that's who she was. But I'll never forgive myself for the years I wasted, the mornings I left without kissing her goodbye, the nights I came home too tired to ask about her day, the decades of taking her for granted because I assumed we'd have forever. You don't have forever. None of us do. So whoever you love them out loud. Love them on purpose. Love them like they could be gone tomorrow. Because one day that will be true, and you won't get a warning. I've given you a lot of pain in this talk, a lot of regret, a lot of don't do what I did. Let me give you something else now. Let me give you the truth I finally figured out, too late for my own good, but maybe just in time for yours. The meaning of life is not what you achieve, it's who you love and how well you love them. That's it. That's the whole secret. Nobody on their deathbed says, "I wish I'd spent more time at the office." Nobody's last words are, "I should have made more money." Nobody dies clutching their Employee of the Year plaque. They die holding hands. They die asking for their children. They die saying names, the names of people who mattered. When it's your time, and it will come faster than you think, what names are going to be on your lips? Will those people know how much they meant to you? Or will they be like my mother, my Eleanor, my son, wondering if I ever really saw them at all? I'm 77. I've got maybe a decade left if I'm lucky, maybe less. I can't fix the past, can't undo the calls I didn't make, the games I didn't attend, the words I didn't say. But I can tell you, I can sit here, an old man with trembling hands and too many regrets, and tell you what I know. Family is not forever. Call them now. Career is not identity. It's a tool. Use it. Don't let it use you. Love is not automatic. It's a choice you make every day, and if you stop choosing, it dies. The time you have is the only time you have. You can't earn more. You can't buy it back. You can't pause the clock while you figure things out. You have to live now. Love now. Be present now. Because later is a lie we tell ourselves until it's too late to believe it anymore. I want to leave you with one more thing. A few months ago, my grandson came to visit. He's 24, just finished college, full of plans, ambitions, ideas about how he's going to conquer the world. He asked me, "Grandpa, what's the most important thing you've learned?" I thought for a long time. Then I said, "Don't wait." He looked confused. "Don't wait for what?" "For anything," I said. "Don't wait to tell people you love them. Don't wait to chase your dreams. Don't wait to fix a broken relationship. Don't wait to start living the life you actually want." I said, "I spent most of my life waiting for the right moment, the right time, the right circumstances. And I woke up one day and realized there is no right moment. There's just now. And now keeps slipping through your fingers whether you use it or not." He nodded, but I could tell he didn't really understand. He will, eventually. We all do. I just hope he figures it out sooner than I did. If you're watching this and you're 25 or 35 or even 55, I'm telling you, it's not too late. It's not too late to call your mom. It's not too late to leave the office early and watch your kid's soccer game. It's not too late to hold your partner's face in your hands and tell them they're the best thing that ever happened to you. It's not too late to be soft, to be present, to be the person they'll remember long after you're gone. But the window is closing. Every day it closes a little more. Don't wait until you're 77 and sitting alone in a quiet house talking to strangers on the internet, because the people who should be hearing this are already gone. I made my choices. I live with them. You still get to make yours. Choose wisely.